Hi, happy-ish New Year. How did Christmas go? How did the break go for you? Really? Honestly? You know, there's a reason why counsellors, therapists, Relate have their busiest ever schedule at the start of the year in January. If you're not feeling great, you're not alone. Most people are feeling a bit crappy at this time of year and just trying to get back into things. The reason why therapists and relationship counsellors are so busy is so many of us just hold on over Christmas and just wait to get through and it'll be all right in the new year. And guess what? It isn't for many people. I genuinely hope you got some peace and you got some downtime. If you are feeling low, that's normal, that's natural. If you're someone who suffers from depression or anxiety, you're going to be under more pressure this time of year. And you know, we shouldn't really be surprised, should we? Because when it comes to Christmas, we take 2 weeks off, mainly 2 weeks if we're lucky, and we stop. We stop doing everything. And I don't always think that's always the most helpful. And we stay up too late, and we probably drink too much, and we eat lots of sugar and lots of fats. We probably don't exercise as much as we should. We don't drink enough water. We probably don't eat much fruit. We probably spend time with people who we love, but are not always our favourite people, our family. We spend too much, so the bills start coming in. And then we come back into the new year and expect to feel great, like we're going to somehow set New Year's resolutions and change the world and change our world. And so it's not like that, is it? And also, I was talking to somebody the other day about how Christmas is when we give. We give our time, we give our love, we give our presents, we give time to our kids, time to our families, we give ourselves to indulgences. And we get to the new year and we haven't got much left to give. And yet we need to give to ourselves, don't we? And so I don't want to be patronising, but I do want to say be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you're not feeling great. Nobody is. They'll tell you they are. And yes, of course, you've got to get back to work or whatever you do and just get on with it and get back into your normal pattern. There is no silver bullet for that. I wish there was. There is an element of you've just got to get on with it and just get into your daily schedule and your daily pattern, and it will start to feel like normal again. But please, whatever you do, don't beat yourself up if you're emotionally challenged this time of year. But this time of year is also, I think I've just mentioned it, about when people often set New Year's resolutions, don't they? About this is the year I'm going to do this or I'm going to achieve this. And there's no surprise that if you head to a gym at the moment, it's really busy. If you join something like Weight Watchers, it's really busy. It's the start of the year when people want to lose that weight. Yes, they've put on a bit over Christmas, but we all start getting into bikini bodies into our heads. Not bikini, but you know what I mean. We want to get fit for the rest of the year. We want to look in shape. We want to lose some weight, and that's a great thing to do. But you know, there's some real good analogies with that and sorting out your mental health, because unless you live on another planet, then you wouldn't have heard, or you would have heard, about what's being called a new wonder drug for weight loss. Lots of people know it as something called Mounjaro. I've written it down. Its actual proper name is I can't pronounce it. Tirzepatide. That's its medical name, and it goes under Mounjaro and Zepbound. And why it's so helpful, it's an injection, is that it's a hormone injection, and it's that the hormones are receptors, and what they do is they reduce your appetite. So they actually work. They stop you feeling hungry. Now, it can be prescribed by the NHS for people that have serious weight issues or suffer from obesity, but you can also buy it online as well. And just briefly, I'd say make sure you buy it from a reputable website, because there's a lot of fake ones out there that are doing a lot of damage. And the way to tell the difference is they're incredibly cheap. And if they're cheap, then it's not even worth looking at. This stuff is not is not inexpensive to buy if you buy it properly. And so I'm not a weight expert. I'm not a doctor. I can't advise on it one way or the other. But what I do know from talking to people and talking to experts on it is that it works. So you take this injection, it reduces your appetite, and therefore you eat less, and it works. But there's a challenge. The challenge is one day you're going to stop taking it. And so your appetite's going to come back, and unless you change your lifestyle, you're just going to put that weight back on. And so, yes, you lose the weight initially, but you're going to put it back on unless there's a lifestyle change, a cultural change. And it's absolutely no different with sorting out your mental health in 2025. There is no one silver bullet to sort it. So as someone that has experienced deep, dark depression and bone-crushing anxiety, I know that not one thing sorts it out. So for example, I take something called venlafaxine. Thankfully, I'm starting to reduce the amount I take, but that's an anti-anxiety, antidepressant medicine, and lots of you out there will be on different ones. Sertraline, citalopram. There's lots of different ones out there. They don't work for everyone. You'll remember that I tried about several thousand and they sent me nuts. But in general, medication is a good thing. It can get you back on the level, but it doesn't sort your mental health out, and it doesn't sort your anxiety out. What it does is it gives you some peace and some calm to look at the deeper issue. So you've got the challenge that if you take it, it helps. At some point you need to stop taking it. I don't want to take this for the rest of my life. I don't think people should live on medication for the rest of their life. You've seen that I use this. This is a weird old thing. This is a headset. There we go. Wow, look at that. I've been on TV talking about this. This is by a company called Flow, and you wear it once a day, and it's for 30 minutes, and it increases the blood flow at the front of your brain and increases that blood flow. And the research shows that it helps to address depression and anxiety. You have to buy it privately. Some NHSs are trialling it. For me, it's been really successful. But that on its own doesn't work. And it's just like the slimming drug, that there has to be a cultural change about what you do. I see the most wonderful psychotherapist, most fabulous guy I've ever met, who's brilliant in his challenging therapy and driving me to have courage and to change my life, which is why I'm in such a better place that I am now. But all of those things, medication, some of the new stuff, psychotherapy, doesn't work on its own. There has to be a culture change. And that culture change for me was about courage, was about saying, I don't want to be a person that says, yes, I've always had anxiety. Yes, depression is just something I live with. Nobody says, yeah, I've just had a chest infection for the last 2 decades and that's what I get. Or, yeah, I've just lived with a broken leg for the last 20 years. That's unfortunately just my life. Nobody says that. They want to get better, and I want you to get better. And so just as with a slimming drug, for it to work, you need to change your lifestyle. To sort your mental health out, you have to change your lifestyle too. And again, I don't want to be patronising, but it is about things, small things on a regular basis, like some exercise, like challenging yourself to stop self-medicating, reducing your drink, reducing the fags, reducing the crappy food, all the stuff that it's easy to do. I get that. I love sugar. I love crisps, but I have to try and manage it. Why? Because it's good for my mental health. And so if you're suffering this year, if you're struggling, don't be ashamed about getting help. Go to the doctors and get some medication. It can help. It helps so many people. But you need to look at the wider issue. You need to speak to a therapist or a counsellor. Now, I'm not a counsellor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. I can't advise on this. But I talk to men and I hear from you guys on a daily basis. Why? Because I've been there and I know how hard it is. I know the fact that there's not a silver bullet is really challenging. But just as to lose weight, you can take this new wonder drug, Monjaro, it only really works if you start to change your lifestyle. And it's exactly the same with your mental health. And it's hard. It's not easy. It's sometimes a grim journey. But what I've learned is that with courage and hard work, you can do it. And guess what? Courage and hard work is free, but it's hard going. No one is born courageous. No one is born inclined to hard work. It's something in you that you can find. You can deeply find it. And if you could have seen the pathetic little boy that I was when I was at my worst, you would say that guy would never be able to turn it round. And I have turned it round. I've dug deep and I've found those things. And if I can, then I've got absolutely no doubt that you can too. So, if you need to get some help, get some help. There's no shame in that. Know that you're not alone. There's lots of people out there going through this. Know you can get help, and know that you can dig deep, and know that you can sort this. But most of all, guys, keep going, keep at it. You're not alone. We're thinking of you, and you can beat this.